Hello, CCL Sports Cards fans. What is up and welcome back. Now, it's no secret that this is a tough sports card market. I mean, I referenced it back in May when the market slide was well underway in the episode, Is the Sports Card Market in Trouble? And to say it has gotten worse is very, very fair. Yes, I know a few disagreed with me then. There's always going to be naysayers. It kind of comes with the territory when you put yourself out there. And oftentimes, it means you're doing something right. Now, I'm not here to warn you of the things to come because in my mind, that's not going to be beneficial. Instead, I thought I would take this opportunity to discuss the moves we've been making here at CCL and how they came about because overall, a lot of opportunity still remains. But in order to really take advantage, you've got to have some cash. I mean, it's hard to miss the winning bid on some of these auctions on eBay. It's staggering at times. Seeing a card that was once $5,000 or even $6,000 and then it closes at $1,100, and if you don't have the cash, it just stinks. So kind of let these fire sale prices go by. At least that's how it feels to me. It even frustrates me at times, especially when cash starts to dry up. With what seems like an endless cycle of low prices on sports cards, it is possible to run out of cash. And here at CCL, we ran out of cash. Raise your hand if you've ever found yourself in this position. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I was younger, whether it was in sports cards or the stock market, was being all in all the time. And if you're all in, you do not have any cash. And as prices of things get lower and lower, you can't take advantage. Well, I've been taking advantage of the endless sales of sports cards and showcasing my purchases, of which there are a ton more to come, and I plan to roll out next week. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how excited I am to showcase that stuff. But back to running out of cash. As disciplined as I consider myself, I ran out of cash. The question really became, how can I continue to buy sports cards and wax at these fire sale prices without cash? I mean, I could use credit, but that's a delicate thing to balance. And for me, I refuse to fund any more of my business with credit. And while I think it can be useful at times when you're building a business, such as we are here at CCL, you have to have limits. And it's a risky thing because as credit dries up and then liquidity dries up, it generally doesn't end well. So, what moves have we been making to work around the situation and continue to be buyers in a buyer's market? Well, longtime subscribers know we're a big fan of wax as a hold. And maybe I'll rip some one day, but this is why we hold these things as investments. Because in this instance, it became a great source of cash and is fairly liquid. So, I sold my 2022 Bowman Jumbo case for $5,200, which was purchased just back in April for $4,400, and all figures include shipping and fees. But most important was the $800 profit, or 18%, that we made on the case. Ultimately, I was very happy with that profit. It allowed me to buy another case. Because while I don't like to sell wax this early, I wanted the cash and an opportunity to buy a case which I really coveted in 2020 Bowman Chrome. I picked up a hobby case. I mean, that checklist is super stacked. It's just loaded. And with the emergence of superstars Vaughn Grissom and Michael Harris, neither of whom were in the show when the case was purchased. And if you haven't seen the rest of that checklist, check out the episode link right up there, where I discussed who you can find at each of the Bowman sets from 2019 through 2021. But here is the Coles Notes version of who's in 2020 Bowman Chrome. Crazy good checklist. It was a great move, and a sealed case of 2020 Bowman Chrome has a much higher upside than 2022 Bowman for so many reasons, in my opinion. And it's a better product, which is fully funded, as I shared. And it also left me with a little bit of cash that I then used to pick up a hobby case of 2020 Upper Deck SP Authentic Hockey for $2,300. That product has massive upside with stars like Kirill Kaprizov, Alexis Lafreniere, Timmy Stützle, Igor Sharangovich, and Josh Norris, many others. And I could go on. The upside on both those cases is massive, and to recap, 2022 Bowman out, 18% profit, and added 2020 Bowman Chrome and 2020 SP Authentic Hockey. Now, I could have used credit to fund that transaction, but I refused and used mostly cash. The next move we made, in fact, just this past week, is I unloaded a jumbo case of 2020 Bowman Draft, which I featured back in January in the episode I Just Invested $20,000 in Wax. The original cost, $5,350, including shipping and fees. We sold this past week for just over $6,000 and a profit of $700 or 13%, which we rolled up into a hobby case of 2020 Bowman Chrome for $3,850. And historically, Bowman Chrome does tend to outperform draft products. Some other notable sales were a first Bowman Chrome Vaughn Grissom autos, which I told viewers was coming. And all told, we sold 2 blues, a green, all of which were PSA 10s, and brought in about $4,000 after fees and expenses, giving me the much needed infusion of cash to remain nimble and able to pick up some more great deals. And overall, I am thrilled. I mean, obviously adding those cases was huge because the upside from here is quite high. And perhaps most important, the downside seems limited. And the ones that I sold had more room on the downside, in my opinion, which translated means I have decreased my risk, taken some profits, and added some potential. And in this market, perhaps the most important thing is to de-risk, but moreover, it has left us with a nice amount of cash to load up on some of my favorite prospects on top of the wax. And the prospects are the ones that I have mentioned here in the last few months, which I will showcase in an I Just Invested segment very, very soon. I want to reiterate that the sports card market is super volatile these days, but there are tremendous opportunities. And while some may feel a little tight on cash, ask yourself, what can you part with to raise cash? And thank you so much for tuning in and sharing in our successes and failures at CCL. How are you feeling about the sports card market in general? Tell me in the comments below. And what's your favorite card you have picked up that was once super expensive and has gone on sale? And be sure to hit that subscribe icon so you know the moment content like this drops. We have some very exciting episodes on the horizon, the first of which is over 140 cards coming back from PSA, 60 of which will be shared this week. Not to mention an I Just Invested segment where tens of thousands of dollars in cards and prospects will be showcased in the coming weeks. Be sure to have fun, gang, and I'll see you soon.